One of my personal favorite stories in show business history is about the time Jon Stewart went on a show on CNN called Crossfire and basically single handedly got the show canceled. Jon went on the show and reminded everyone on the show and watching at home that what the country needs is actual discourse and discussion of policies and how they lead to people's problems on the ground, rather than some bifurcated right, left, these are the only two options and these are the only two possible problems or solutions that we have right now, which is what Crossfire offered. The segment was so popular and went so viral at the beginning of the internet that CNN scrapped the show. Of course, the downside of this is it led straight to Tucker Carlson going to Fox and becoming a worm without a bow tie, because Jon made him stop wearing the bow tie that day too, that he is today. Another horrific show that also is as responsible for the downfall of America as Crossfire was, if not more so, was Robin Leach's Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. This show is a sin. It is disgusting. The entire point of the show is to deify rich people and their lives. When it came out in 1984, America didn't know what to think. What most Americans thought was, man, I'd like to live like that, and I know if I work hard, one day I might be able to. When really you have to be born into generational wealth and have a connection to power that allows you to bend taxes and tax code to your will. Now, am I going too far with how I feel about Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous? I don't know. I will say this. I know for a fact it led directly to reality television shows like The Kardashians. So if nothing else, can we blame it for that? Much like Jon Stewart, the people needed a hero to cancel and get rid of Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Now, I'm not saying that when Byron Hill penned Lifestyles of the Not So Rich and Famous, it was his goal to get the show taken off the air. I'm not saying when Tracy Byrd put it out in 1994, he thought, I, a country singer, a man of the people, am really doing something here. I am speaking out against this show, and this song as a send-up, as a parody of it, will in fact lead to it getting canceled. But what I do know is less than a year after it came out, the show was canceled. Now, is that really because Robin Leach got cancer? Maybe the parody gave him cancer. I'm not saying he deserved that. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm saying fuck rich people, and this song is awesome. This is Bubba Shot the Podcast.
Bubba Shot the Podcast, and that's right.
Welcome to Bubba Shot the Podcast. Gentlemen, first, the facts. And I was not ready to start this episode. Now I am. Lifestyles of the Not So Rich and Famous is a song written by Byron Hill. Byron Hill is a very successful songwriter. We will get into him later. It was recorded by American country music artist Tracy Byrd, released in 1994 as the first single from his album No Ordinary Man. It won an ASCAP award for being one of the most performed country songs in 1994. For those of you who don't know, ASCAP is the group, the national organization that protects copyright. They're the people who go around to little flea markets and sue people who own flea markets because they're playing songs without permission. And so I guess this particular song was a huge hit. My guess is with karaoke. That does not surprise me.
Well, hold on. Wait, can we stop on this for a minute?
What?
Can we stop on this for a minute?
Yeah.
So the song Cops.
Yeah.
But they also have an award ceremony.
I didn't know that either till I was reading this.
So what's the point? This is the I don't get it.
So,
his was played the most times legally, and they know that. They keep track of. How the fuck do they do that?
Well, so you have to file to get permission to do it. My guess is that you can't keep up with actual single ones. Like if I've got a karaoke bar, I don't have to tell you how many times I do it, but I do have to request certain songs to be in my book. I would say that in those karaoke books, that's a thing that you have to buy. Well, the people who buy it buy a license. So I would say that it was licensed broadly the most times is what this means. It also may have been in a lot of TV shows. It may have been, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things they keep up with, and they're sort of a half government institution. When you file for your copyright fees, a lot of it goes to them. And yeah, they are.
I learned
about it in law school.
You serious about them going around and stinging people? You could be in a flea market playing Skinner, and somebody walks up and flips open a badge. It's like Song Cop.
You've just been cop.
No, I know they do
Who's the
that.
Agent Crowder song cop? You're gonna have to turn that off right now.
I think what happens is you get a letter 2 weeks later, and they were like, "Hey, the song cops were there, and you owe us a fuck ton of money."
It's like a speeding ticket video.
I've never heard about it with the songs, but I know that, like, you know, WWE, they have agents that around the country that go to bars looking for people playing like the pay-per-view and shit like that and shut it down. But like, that's a one-time event that they know when to look for. It is wild to think of just somebody being like, all right, today I had to go the bait and tackle shop, make sure they ain't playing George Jones.
Well, all of my knowledge about this comes from copyright law class, and the cases were from like the 70s, 80s, and 90s. My guess is now they do all their work on the computer.
Yeah. Like ASCAP actually is the thing on YouTube, by the way, that blocks you. Like, it's them. Right. You have seen their name beside it.
Copyright power.
There you go.
I remember I was working at O'Charlie's when UFC like first started getting big, and there were other servers asking about like, are we going to have that? And I remember that's when I found out like we can't, because O'Charlie's is a chain, you know, and they said the way it works is like you gotta pay the pay-per-view times the capacity.
Right.
You have to purchase the pay-per-view for every person in there. And I was like, well, and everybody, so they were like, well, clearly we're not doing that. But like, but I remember it was always like some Mexican restaurants and stuff.
Yeah.
That would just buy anything and throw it up. Yeah. And I don't ever remember none of them getting
Wish
busted.
a motherfucker would is with the practice that they were.
Yeah.
Running white power.
Yeah. they just didn't know. I don't know. But yeah, I always wondered how that, so they have like literal people that could bust you, like, because I always wondered, it's like, can they track the feed somehow? And I feel like now they maybe could, you know.
They definitely did it one time. Now I don't know how they would do that, because that would probably require compliance with the local provider. And if I'm Comcast, I'm not trying to get my local Mexican restaurants in trouble if they are also a sports bar. You know what I mean? Right. Like, they probably got more channels than anybody.
I'd say it really happens a lot because some people just will straight up advertise it, and they're like, boom, we can go get them. But like at the Mexican restaurants, they're probably just like, hey, tell your friends, you know.
Yeah. Tell Hector.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Let's ASCAP. Anyway. Sorry, I'm all fucked up now.
Well, do you think it hits to get an award from the song cops?
No, it's the law.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like he got like what's the word? Well, honored. He got honored by the song cops, but I feel like you'd be like, no, I don't have for me. Get your fucking.
I mean, I don't think that's all they do is just go around, but like, I think it hits in the sense there's not a ceremony. You know what I mean? Someone's going to read it in your Wikipedia. Most people won't know what it is. When you get the award, all they're telling you is, hey, man, you made a lot of money last year. So it's just like hits.
Right on. Song cops. You know, I guess thinking about like Metallica and Lars Ulrich and stuff, like I guess the song cops actually really hit for them.
They do. They want to get paid for their shit, and as they should.
Yeah.
But I still wouldn't want to be at the Song Cop Awards.
Yeah.
We should do that sketch. It would be funny for 18 people. The Song Cop Awards. All right. Well, let's get a little bit more into it. I brought up Byron Hill. We're going to talk about him, the songwriter. I love Tracy Byrd. I forgot how good his fucking voice is.
Yeah, man, he's underrated for sure.
When this came out, the critics were raving about it, chock full of hilarious white trashisms.
Yeah.
This song, I don't know what I'm ended up rating it, but this episode is going to be a great episode. Let's dive right into these lyrics, because culturally, I want you guys to think about, as we're doing this, where this fits, because I think this is post Jeff Foxworthy, but it might be right around the same time.
What year?
It's 94.
It's right around the time he got super hot. Yeah.
It's pre Honey Boo Boo, but post Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, which is sort of the opposite of Honey Boo Boo in a lot of ways as far as reality television. We're going to get into reality television because this song, the phrase Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, as far as I know, was made ubiquitous by the show Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Absolutely.
So this was just a counter to that. And in some ways that makes it kind of the forerunner of Honey Boo Boo. It's definitely the forerunner of a lot of current modern country songs that talk about white trash shit. but it doesn't bother me as bad. But let's get into the lyrics.
So-
You got a question?
Well, just since you brought it up, because I immediately thought of this other song that I was going to bring up anyway, and it's relevant to what you're talking about right
Redneck
now.
Yacht Club.
This song is just, I was going to say, this song is kind of just We're Not the Jet Set,
Yeah.
which is from 1974. Bobby Braddock, sort of friend of the show. We never mentioned that. Like, just so everybody knows, Bobby Braddock got brought up on a recent episode, and then I got a text message a couple days later. It's like, "Hey, Bobby Braddock wants to talk to y'all," and I was like, "Oh shit, Bobby Braddock wants to whoop our ass."
Have you done anything about that?
No, I responded to the
Yeah.
person that he got in touch with me through, and I said, "Send him our way. We'd love that." And I ain't heard nothing else. He's welcome anytime. But anyway, Bobby Braddock wrote "We're Not the Jet Set" for George Jones and Tammy Wynette in 1974, but it's pretty much this. Like, it's, basically the same song. It's got more of a romance element to it, but it's the same type of thing you're talking about from 20 years prior.
I cannot back this up with actual facts, but I feel like this theme of we're poor, but it still hits.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's
first of all, it definitely goes back to some like either slave or post-slave hymns of like, you know what I mean? And then frankly, a lot of religious songs of, it doesn't hit as hard in that scenario, but a lot of religious songs are like, we don't have much, but we have God. And this is like, we don't have much, but we got sugary treats.
Yeah, good time.
We got beans in a can and stuff, which hits
right. Your point is well made, well taken. Well, let's get into the lyrics. And I said this about reality television. I didn't just mean because of the lifestyles and the rich and the famous. The lyrics actually get right at it. Honey, they're bringing out a TV crew. They want to do a story about me and you. They'll be stringing up bright lights in the backyard. There'll be cameras on their shoulders. We'll be reading cue cards. Leave them long johns on the line. And if the kids look dirty, that'll be just fine, because they're going to put us on lifestyles of the not so rich and famous. They want to see us go hog wild over beans and barbecue. They want to see my fair lane up on blocks. Jeff Fox really joked. The holes in all our socks. Talking about lifestyles of the not so rich and famous.
Yeah. I will. You're right about the reality TV element of it. So like the theme of sort of we're poor and that still hits for us, like we were just talking about, that is from We're Not the Jet Set, but this song did really sort of foresee the whole kind of poverty porn shit that was coming later. It's like they just want to point and laugh at us type of thing that like we've written sketches about since that, like it's definitely like this song was definitely getting at that in 1994 and maybe before anything else really was.
I'm really glad you brought up poverty porn specifically, because the first instance of Appalachian poverty porn that I know of, as far as that became like a cultural phenomenon or whatever, was National Geographic picture in, I want to say the 30s, maybe it was the 40s,
Dust Bowl,
in which, no, it was a little boy. It was some kids on a porch, and one of them was eating dirt. And they put it in National Geographic, and it was like, look at these hillbillies. Look at these hillbillies.
We got it teed up for you, Mr. TV man.
Eating dirt. And somebody a few years later went and found the family, and the mom was like, yeah, we are poor, but we have food. Like, kids
he's just stupid.
He's just stupid.
He's just
the dumbest one.
He got kicked by a horse.
You ain't never seen a dumb boy eat dirt? Goddamn. Dumb boys don't eat dirt in California, motherfucker.
To borrow. You killed Corey. Corey's internet went out. Oh my god.
Borrow a phrase of Trey's from back, or maybe I guess Corey's. His brain don't hit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I hit my camera.
Yeah. You treated that camera like they did that boy.
Oh God.
But specifically the lyric, if the kids look dirty, that'll be just
let them kids stink.
Let them stink.
I genuinely think there's some self-awareness coming from
Byron
Hill, the songwriter, especially because he is a genius. Like, I don't care. Byron
This is
Hill
commentary, man.
Yeah, that's what they want from us.
I think it's half a step below commentary, which in some ways makes it better, because it's not like fuck them. It's like,
hey,
why not?
If this what hits for them, we're gonna do it better than anybody does. By God, bring me them beans.
Here are some
Fart.
of the other songs that he has written. High Tech Redneck, which is in the same,
Yeah.
If I Was a Drinking Man. Politics, Religion, and Her by Sammy Kershaw, which is a fine fucking song.
Yeah.
Size Matters by Joe Nichols, which is stupid but was a huge hit. Full Hearted Memory by by George Strait.
I was about to say
Born Country by Alabama. And then
Boy, this
Nothing
guy's on
On
a
But the
tear.
Radio by Gary Allen. And then
That song hits for me.
He also produced the first 3 Gary Allen.
Gary Allen hits.
Gary Allen.
He was one of
great.
he was one of them in
right?
Yeah, he was one of them in that 2000s when everything was turning to shit that I was
good.
like, okay,
Who
but
still
this,
had it.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I agree with you completely. I always dug Gary Allen.
And also, this is real sad, but didn't his wife die of cancer and he made a whole album about it and it was unbelievably good?
I don't know.
I don't know. He definitely had some sad ass love songs. I never knew that backstory. If that's true, that makes them way more hardcore.
I also think she killed herself because she didn't want to do the treatment no more.
Oh, gave herself cancer. Man, what the fuck?
Yeah, man. My buddy Childs, who y'all met maybe once or twice, my roommate in college, was really into Gary Allen. Anyway, on a more lighthearted note, let's go back to Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, of the not so rich and famous. So you've got a TV show that becomes a cultural phenomenon, late 80s, early 90s, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Of course.
You've got this song as a response to it, but inside it also, in my opinion, and so far it seems like you guys agree with me, also a response to
what was his name?
Robin Winters.
Leach.
Robin Leach. That's it. I was thinking of Jonathan Winters.
Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. I'm Robin Leach.
As you can see here, they have a polar bear.
And if any of our fans are younger than us, none of you are. It's the precursor to MTV Cribs, but instead of it being like a rapper, it was kind of like HGTV. It was just like, ain't it wild that they have this? They got 18 toilets and you can't eat.
Right. Yeah. And that hits for you because you're stupid.
Yeah. You ate your beans.
You think you might have 18 toilets one day, but you never will. You bean eating piece of shit.
You bean eating piece of shit.
Got 18 toilets in the fucking yard. I guarantee you that.
Did you guys watch the video?
Yeah.
Yeah. If I watch the right video, it's just kind of like a live performance video, right? It's like him jamming in a bar.
Yeah, I loved it. I feel like it happened that way for budgetary reasons.
Right.
But I want to believe there was a little bit of artistic license or choice going on here of like, look, the song is satire. If we make a video that looks the way this song sounds, it will not read as satire. It'll be real bad. It'll be kids eating dirt.
We can't do that again.
Yeah. It's fine for National Geographic.
I don't know. I kind of wish they'd have leaned in, but yeah, I hear you.
Well, it would have been funny.
Yeah.
So wait, are you saying you don't, not that you don't like the video, but you wish the video would have been more on the nose?
I'm saying I would like both versions. It would have hit for me, like you know. But I understand what you're saying. It's like the song's already pulling the weight here.
I feel like the lyrics are so, especially like the last few verses are so, they read like a play. It would have been cool to see what they could have done with a real, trailer park situation. But that's difficult to pull off without looking just horrible. You're right, to your point, eating dirt.
Right. Trey.
And here's their 3-legged cat. Yeah.
Also, Jeff Foxworthy joke.
Named
Trey,
Lucky.
what do you think?
I mean, I don't disagree with nothing y'all have said. I definitely, when I was watching, I just assumed it was like you said, a budgetary thing largely because like
It would have been hard to go to a trailer though.
And we were talking about on a previous episode recorded just a few minutes ago, we were talking about the weird way videos seem to be treated in the 90s. So many major songs just didn't even have videos. Then some videos are iconic, but I think there's a whole lot of them too that are basically just this. Like I feel like a whole lot of country videos were kind of just get them together, have them pretend to sing
a bunch of shit,
and
that's usually in a warehouse. This was at a bar. I really like that aspect of it, and they did have some actors doing some things. It was simple, but I like that it was live in front of people and stuff.
Yeah, it hit for me. I'm just saying I didn't sort of go there in terms of the why of it. I was just like, this makes sense to me. They did a lot of this sort of thing,
Right.
back
Well, what
then.
they're selling here is, and like we touched on, we're going back to the Jet Set and probably before that. And again, I don't want to like just try to be woke for woke's sake. I guarantee you there were some black musical artists talking about how even though I'm poor, I fucking hit.
Well, I was, I mean, the rap, the Still Fly by Big Time.
Absolutely. That whole album. Isn't that
Hood
Hood
Gas
Rich?
in my new E-Class. In my
Man.
E-Class. But yeah,
Ain't that whole album called Hood Rich?
Yeah.
That might have been a different
it
album.
is. You're right. Yes, it
they
is.
have
Hood
an album
Rich,
called Hood Rich.
Yeah, but dude, there's plenty. Yeah, I'm sure there's tons of rap songs that would fit in this category. That's
Probably
just the
blues songs, or
first
not
one
blues
that came to
songs, but
mind.
rock and roll songs too.
And guess what? No reference to God.
Yeah,
Which
fuck
is.
him. We're poor.
It is.
Let's get back into the lyrics and then talk more about that. And this is my favorite verse. Tell him about your mama and the bowling league. Tell him about Junior and his baseball team. I'll show him my 9-point buck in the wall. I'll blow a few times on my new duck call. Let him see old Blue, how he sleeps all day. We'll bring out the Elvis TV trays. Now, son, if that ain't so many things that our people have, TV trays, 9-point bucks on the walls, but also really, really, truly capturing the 1990s put a redneck on TV mentality. Bring them on out here. Come on, baby. Yeah, they want to put me on the TV.
Did you notice the duck call portion of the music video and what it actually looked like?
No, I didn't.
So before they got to the lyric of duck call, as soon as they got to it, it made sense to me. But before that, the dudes were all doing this. They were all like looking at each other doing this, and it very much looked like they were like, "Hey, pass me a joint," and it looked like they were all smoking a joint. And then they said the duck call thing, and it's like they were just like pretending to do a duck call. But dude, it like just looked like they were being like, "We about to get higher than a motherfucker here."
Well, I mean, that's another thing people do who are white, trash, and poor. So I could see it.
Every line in this song or this part of the song reads like a Jeff Foxworthy kind of.
Yeah, they may have just had the book.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see it going either way. I mean, like I said, Byron Allen is brilliant. Stealing from Jeff Foxworthy, smart.
Still from the best.
It ain't Byron Allen, right? Hold on. You said Byron Allen.
Oh, my bad, Byron Hill.
Byron Allen is from Comics Unleashed. He's also a media mogul.
Yeah, he owns the Weather Channel.
He's also, I've told you guys this, there's an old man named Petey that plays basketball at the Y with me. He's like 70. All he does is argue with people and ask me when I'm going to go on Byron Allen.
That's hilarious.
Literally every time. 3 times a week sometimes he says, "Did you talk to your agent about getting on Byron Allen?"
That's so funny. I remember we were talking about Byron Allen, how rich he was, and people didn't realize it when we were on the road one weekend. And it was right when Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson were having like their space race and they were going whatever. And we were talking about how rich Byron Allen was, and people don't realize how rich he is. And we sort of illustrated it. And Corey goes, "God damn, when's this motherfucker going to the moon?"
I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah. He already owns the weather.
Yeah. Anyway, Byron Hill. Yeah.
Yes. Byron Hill. It would be brilliant to steal from Jeff Foxworthy, but he's also brilliant enough. Perhaps he was just kind of parallel thinking, recognizing zeitgeist-wise that it was time to celebrate all things, to quote Jeff Foxworthy, unsophisticated. I love this song. I love Jeff Foxworthy. I love Tracy Byrd. But this has unequivocally led to, not the song single-handedly, but that attitude and proving that you can make so much money off of being proud, of being goofy, redneck, unsophisticated, whatever word you want to throw at it, has led to, like I said earlier, Honey Boo Boo, but also specifically in country music in the 2000s and all the way up until now, there is this very strange, like, we're just simple folk.
Well,
but it's
I was going to say,
it's sung by a guy. But it's just wild. It's sung by, a guy that the studio groomed who's dating a movie star, and the guy playing it is in an 80s. It reminds me of DJ's truck joke where he's like, "Rednecks. They used to call me redneck. Rednecks is rich.
They got
$60,000 trucks and boats." Some guy in an $80,000 truck just being like, "That's us, baby. Just simple people,"
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say you're talking about how it like led to all this fucking exploitation and whatever else, but it also probably led to, in a way, this podcast and our whole thing.
Right,
because
yeah, and
it's
our
like because people are like, they ain't eating dirt.
Yeah.
They're saying words. That's weird. Y'all know they knew
they
words
eat
like
soil.
that. Yeah, right. But yeah. Now, but I think this song, like, I just feel like this song is absolutely fucking self-aware in my
For
which is
sure.
what makes it like totally different in my mind as far as like being a precursor to all that or whatever. It's like I say, it's almost like
B Rabbit.
an early commentary. Yes, a B Rabbit situation. It's like an early commentary on all that happening, and I feel like kind of pointing it out in a way that's like I said, really self-aware. And I don't know, this song hits.
Does it?
Does it? Should I get back to the lyrics?
Sure.
Proceed.
All right, I will proceed. They're going to put us on lifestyles of the not so rich and famous. They want to see us go hog wild over beans and barbecue. They want to see my Fairlane up on blocks, the holes in all our socks. Talking about lifestyles of the not so rich and famous. Last verse / the bridge / the coda / the outro. And I like that he didn't end on a full chorus for the record. Our idea of high class living is sitting on the porch on a cool night. Our champagne and caviar is an RC cola and a moon pie. Talking about lifestyles of the not so rich and famous. Lifestyles of the not so rich and famous.
Damn right, boy.
So see that like I feel like that has got to be a straight up homage to We're Not the Jet Set right there.
Wow.
Because
It
that's
definitely
like,
had to be in his mind.
yeah, because that's sort of the format of that whole song of like well, not the whole song, but like, you know, our steak and martinis is draft beer with weenies. Yeah, like, and it's just it's got the exact same kind of structure as the champagne and caviar, RC and a moon pie or whatever. It just they're just too similar. And again, it was by George Jones and Tammy Wynette. I feel like it's got to be an homage, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I also want to point out, and I'm not trying to counter you. I think you're right. And then I also, though, there is a more famous, that's not true. There is a song that's as famous. It was at that time probably, and it's been around a lot longer, called RC Cola and a Moon Pie by Liston. Oh, I've lost it.
I don't
Bill
know if
Lister.
I've ever heard that.
It came out in the 50s, but when I first found that out, I thought that's where this iconic duo, RC Cola and a Moon Pie, came from. I was like, all right, one of these companies paid old Bill Liston to make this song, and that's how it went back then, and now it's a thing. But apparently he was simply singing about poor people and what they were doing on their own. RC Cola and Moon Pie, two different companies, one in Chattanooga, one in Columbus, Georgia. Now, Corey, I didn't really look this up. How close is Columbus to Chattanooga?
Man, off the top of my head, I want to say 3.5, 4 hours, maybe. I could be.
Yeah, so it's not like they were in the same hood, really, especially if we're talking about the 30s when getting, that far.
Wait, which one is Moon Pie, Chattanooga?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'm about to say, because, I don't know if our listeners know, Corey was almost Mr. Moon Pie once. Had a real sweet Moon Pie sponsorship lined up that he squandered, I believe. Yep. Yeah. We're talking about he was going to show up with a moon pie cape on, driving a moon pie car, showing the club, fucking twirling a moon pie cane and stuff. It was going to hit.
Well, here's what happened was after a show I'd hosted at the Comedy Catch, and then this lady had not seen my set, but she'd seen me going up between it, and then afterwards I was selling merch and stuff, and she just looked at me and was like, "This is the face of Moon Pie right here.
You have Moon Pie face."
And so she was like, "We want to give you." So she's like, "Come down to the store Monday or whatever." So I come down to the store, dude. They give me cases of moon pies, moon pie shirts, moon pie Mardi Gras beads, a moon pie case knife that was so sweet, like all the swag. And then they were like, "So when's your next show?" And I was like, "I'll be there this weekend." And they came, and then they saw the act. and I have never talked to them again in my entire life. And it very much seemed like they were giving me the keys to the Moon Pie Mobile.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember us talking about it on the thread at the time, like in between those two things happening.
Yeah.
Like we're like, it's about to be it, dude. You about to be shot to the moon pie, boy.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
fucking Mr. Moon Pie coming up. And then no, it was not.
It's so odd to me that that any person could be in that scenario and then leave without at least saying, "We'll be in touch," like a line. Nope, we're just gonna fucking leave and never talk to this guy again.
That's the extent to which he did not hit for them, Drew.
And by the way, at that show, because I knew they were going to be there, I wore my Moon Pie shirt. I wore a Moon Pie hat. I wore the beads around my neck and shit like that. Like I was missed. And you know that halfway through my set, they were just like, "Take it off!
Yeah, right.
Take it off!"
You making jokes about shoving them moon pie beads up somebody's butt or something?
Probably.
Like were you doing stuff about it?
No.
Okay.
I was just
You were just up there
representing.
just
Don't
doing
even
shit.
reference.
I was
have on Moon
decked
Pie
out
Mardi
in
Gras
moon
beads.
pie
Just
gear.
decked out in Moon Pie stuff and then doing my fucking dumpster
Sure nobody
baby
thought
jokes.
twice, dude.
No, of course they didn't.
Nobody. As soon as you walked up, they were like, "Yep, that checks out."
Almost everything I've ever worn, no one has ever second guessed it. They're just like, "Yeah, why wouldn't he?"
Hilarious. Well, anyway,
You ought to circle back to that. See how moon pie feels about you now.
maybe they'll make a buttercream flavor.
I don't like to mix business with pleasure. You don't shit where you eat. That's what I say.
And he eats moon pie.
I do. I fucking love them.
I remember when this song was out, that was my dad's favorite part. That was my mom's favorite part. Everybody liked to, because it slows down right there, almost like the beat drops. And then everybody screams, "It's an RC Cola and a moon pie." And I didn't know then. And like I said, I looked into it. That has been a Southern staple, a Southernism since at least the 30s.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to give you guys a brief history of both these companies and how this came about. RC Cola was literally just invented as a fuck you to Coca-Cola.
Mm-hmm.
There was a pharmacist in Columbus, Georgia. Pharmacist, as you guys are probably aware, used to be also where the soda fountain was.
They were a soda jerk.
Exactly. Well, this one particular gentleman sold so much Coca-Cola that he thought, "I deserve a discount." And Coca-Cola was like, "Fuck you, you don't get a discount." And he was like, "Well, fuck you, I'm a chemist. I'll make my own shit." And he did. And then they sued him, not because of the formula, but because of the name. He changed the name to Knee High.
Mm-hmm.
Then the company Knee High went through some stuff. The depression came. It almost killed it. They sold it to somebody else. They changed the name back to RC Cola because they were like, "Fuck Coca-Cola. That ain't you. You'll lose that lawsuit. Let's go to court, bitches." And it became a Southern staple. And it was cheaper than Coca-Cola.
Are they
Moon
still
pie.
knee high?
Yeah, there are. I think
No, I
there are
know.
still Knee Highs, and they're
Knee
owned by
High
the
still
same
exists.
company.
I'm saying they're the same company.
Still the same company, yes.
Oh shit! I don't know. I might have known that. I can't remember. You go to RC Machine, they got knee high in it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So Moon
Knee High
Pie,
hits.
there's a
Knee High does
bakery
it.
in Chattanooga that has an excess of flour at some point. They order too much for whatever reason. They're bread. They're bread people. We do bread. They start saying, "All right, we got all this excess flour. What do? They get into the dessert game. The dessert game kind of becomes their whole thing after that for a little while. And they say, we got to invent a treat for the working man. And someone comes to them and is like, you need to make something that will fit in a lunchbox, but be hearty at the same time. So the first version of the Moon Pie was a double decker. So it was almost as tall as it is big around because the way the lunchboxes were shaped, it almost was like a thermos. If you think about the way a thermos is shaped, it was like you could shove that down in there, but it'd still be big. Well, somebody figured out, like at local grocery stores, through no one asking RC didn't ask them to do this, Moon Pie didn't ask this, but because RC Cola was so cheap and Moon Pies were cheap and such a delicious treat for everybody, they were like, hey, you realize you can get a full lunch for a dime. It's a nickel for the RC Cola and it's a nickel for the Moon Pie. And then that just became a very popular lunch among coal miners. So our people have been, our people have been on the sugar literally since before the Depression.
Yeah, no wonder they all died at 54, breathing in coal dust and then cracking
stuck
into
to the
nice 10-cent lunch of fucking Moon Pie and RC Cola.
Isn't Isn't
Take
it wild?
me back and leave me there. The good old days.
Yeah, the dirt was free and didn't kill you.
Isn't it wild that as hard as Moon Pie hits, they're not even the number one baked good place in Chattanooga, like of baked desserts. Like they're number 2. Like we got Little Debbie too. That's us.
Little Debbie's based in Chattanooga.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't even know that.
The
You guys
McKee
are
Bakery,
monsters.
man. They started in Chattanooga. Like we have
What's going
got.
on with the air there or the water?
Oh, I have no idea about all
You know
that.
how, like bagels in New York, they say
Yeah.
the water is what's
Yeah.
key? I think there's something going on in Chattanooga.
Maybe I think it's just the fuck ton
Same
of
water
sugar.
they steam them little crystal burgers with too.
Yeah, and we got Crystal too.
I
Yeah,
know,
but
it's
like
Got that
fine,
chicken
buddy.
boy.
yeah. Now that wasn't started here, but yeah, man, Chattanooga, like Little Debbie and
Crystal
Moon Pie.
wasn't?
No, Chick-fil-A wasn't. He
I
said
said
chicken boy.
Remember
Yeah,
when Corey
no,
fought the
Crystal.
chicken boy?
Crystal was. Yeah,
That's my favorite Bruce Springsteen song. Remember when Corey fought the chicken
Corey
boy?
fought the chicken boy. But yeah, man, no, Little Debbie, that's us too. Crazy.
Didn't you fight him at a bowling alley?
Almost fought him at a bowling alley.
Man, we've been
Yeah.
referencing bowling leagues. Too
Yeah,
short. I think
yeah.
you had something to say there, Indian Outlaw.
I mean, I just feel like it's funny that it's like this part of the song hits, but it is really sad. What's like, like let's not forget how devastating that line is. RC Cola and Moon Pie. It's done more damage than probably anything else.
For sure.
But I just
Yeah,
want to call
I mean-
that out. I love it. I love it.
Again, I think it's commentary because at this point the damage had been 6-7 decades in the making. But
Right.
I hear you, and it's also to double down on what you're saying. Go back to the line before it. Our champagne and caviar.
Caviar,
Now,
yeah.
obviously, it's meant to be a joke. Obviously, it's meant to be a celebration of the fact that, in spite of the fact that we're poor, we will enjoy our lives. But you're right. There's some sadness to like, and the best thing we got.
Yeah. Right.
But I don't want champagne and caviar right now. I want an RC Cola and a Moon Pie
All
so bad
day.
my fucking mouth's watering.
All
so
day.
I also thought like in the song, like in the video, just the cadence and how it is such a uplifting kind of bar song. I just wanted a bar fight to break out. Like it had that vibe very early. just,
Smash
like,
a
break
RC over
it- Yeah,
somebody's
yeah,
head.
exactly.
I'm sure it probably did.
Shove a moon pie in someone's face and
I had to do a few takes.
yeah. That probably happened naturally. Yeah, you're right.
Mhm.
what about the Elvis trays? Now, Trey, you used to have a joke about, I want to say, commemorative Peyton Manning.
Earnhardt.
I know we've talked about Earnhardt. Okay.
Yeah, I'd switch
That's-
it up. But yeah, commemorative plates that used to have like people's faces on them and stuff. I don't know. They still out there doing that. Commemorative
know.
plates still going.
We should sell
I
those.
mean, there are
We
still
should.
mammals.
We should
sell
have
those.
Bubba Shot the Podcast commemorative plates. That's
Yeah.
a great merch idea.
Yeah, but now TV trays. If that's what you're about to ask, I don't know. I don't have a specific memory of those, but it sounds right.
I was going to pull them up, and I don't know where my screenshot went. There it is. Give me 1 second. Oh, my computer's freezing. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I
Yeah.
definitely remember, like, the TV trays and stuff were like, a huge deal for my mom's generation and stuff like that. Yeah. Which see, that's the shit right there. That's what we need. Bubba Shot the Podcast trays, plates.
Trays.
We
Tray
only got
tray.
one.
Tray.
That's right.
I mean, look how hard that fucking Elvis one hits. God damn. That
Well,
one
I
on the
wonder how
left
much
is-
these are worth. I bet these
A lot.
genuinely are worth a lot. But I think the song is also referencing, it was Beanie Babies. Before that, it was Precious Moment dolls. Before that, it was these TV trays. Before that, it was commemorative plates. Our people have a long history of investing in trinkets.
Yeah.
Tchotchkes. Yeah.
Yeah,
We don't own stock.
Get
We got
rich
Elvis
slow.
trays.
Yeah.
And
but
good China.
my Meemaw, I'm sure most Meemaw, she got so many things. It's just like
Jelly jars.
Now that'll be worth a lot of money someday,
Uh-huh.
and every
Oh, that'll-
single one of them, it's just like it absolutely will not ever
Yeah.
be worth any money,
No.
Meemaw. Like it, no, it won't. It's
Now,
fucking
too sure, I said good China. That's not us being racist. That's what they call like the nice plates. Now, some of
Yeah.
that China. That's the thing though, is you hear enough stories, and that show. What was that show? Antique.
Antique
Roadshow.
Roadshow.
Yeah.
It's on its
Still
43rd
going.
season right now. Yeah.
That's
So
wild.
that was a show that
Yes,
would
I
keep
know
that-
exactly.
It would keep that dream alive because there were a million mamas across the South and I'm sure the Southwest who had these little tchotchkes that weren't worth anything. But you'd have one or two come on that show a year and they'd have a crystal plate and they'd be like, this is actually the second plate Tiffany ever made from, and it'd be like, it's worth $150,000. Or the same thing with the L. It would keep the dream alive. I don't know. I love it. I love like the idea of it's kind of like the lottery, but with something that you can put on the wall.
Yeah.
I almost found a way to make the lottery dumber, even. Like, it's like the lottery, but even worse odds. That's what we're into.
Well, you can eat off of it, unlike stamps.
That's true. You're right.
I just thought of a sketch that I have no other idea for it except for the title, which is Antique Roadhouse. That's all I got. That's all I got. Antique
Yeah.
Roadhouse.
I heard you
us
say that.
throwing
And I just thought of
vases
people,
at each other.
yeah, I was gonna say
in a
I heard
bar.
you say that accidentally, and I was thinking of like breaking plates over like
Yeah.
breaking Peyton Manning's head on your head.
Yeah.
Would hit. Well, all right. That's most of the stuff I wanted to talk about. I've talked about Byron Hill. Somebody have
I got a
something?
question. In the grander scheme of things, where does this song lie in the white trash anthem type of crown?
Very
So that's-
underrated.
Yeah,
It is underrated. I was trying to get at that earlier. I probably did a poor job. It didn't invent it by any means, but I do think that this and some Joe Diffie songs are precursors to some very dumb current country songs that aren't as good as them.
Yeah.
And it goes back to that like Garth Brooks thing crossing over to pop. It's like, do you blame the pioneer for what it's become?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, because I think that, like, I mentioned earlier, like, this is Redneck Yacht Club comes directly from this. And I don't dislike that song by any means, but, like, it's definitely worse than that. There hasn't been a better this since this.
Okay.
I don't think.
Yeah, but there's plenty, and I'm drawing a blank.
Fancy Like is this.
Ugh, I know
Oh God,
It is,
Yeah,
though.
it is.
It
No,
is,
yeah,
though.
you're right.
No,
No,
you're right.
I was just about to say there's plenty of white trash anthems, as you put it, that are much, much bigger with more staying power than this song. But when Corey says it's underrated, I agree. So this song would not rank very highly. I don't
can't
think, but
believe-
it should.
Yeah.
It should rank higher than it does because it's better than most of those
Yeah,
other songs. But
Hearing it now, I genuinely can't believe that this isn't at more farm parties or like sang more
Yeah.
at bars, because like it's very, everybody in the bar can agree like this is our shit right here.
Well, again, it was at the time.
Right, clearly.
Well, yeah,
The
won a
Butt
cop-
Plug Awards or
won a
whatever.
Song Cop Award.
Song Cop Award,
Yeah.
Ass
94.
Cap.
Ass cap, not butt plug. Yeah.
Ass
Um,
Cap.
I think it's a master class in white trash celebration. I really do. I think these lyrics, you said it, I think, too, Shar, almost all of them feel like a Jeff Foxworthy joke. I was playing basketball at the Y, 2 basketball at the Y references, one show the other day, and this kid who's our age was talking about throwing on Jeff Foxworthy sometimes in the car because, like he said, the way he said it was like, because sometimes it's just too real out there to listen to Bill Burr.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And
You
Foxworthy
know,
hits.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting. Foxworthy really hits. He really hit on something that people want to identify with, and so did Byron Hill, not Allen here. People wanted to celebrate the fact that they eat beans and barbecue. It's a very. I mean, DJ has a joke. I should have had him on this episode. Dumpster swag, just talking about how he makes being poor look good, and that's what this song's tapping into.
For the record, what the feeling that guy has of like sometimes it's too real out there to listen to Bill Burr is exactly why I listen to a lot of 90s country. Is that for me? Like, sometimes I fucking love Jason Isbell, one of my favorite songwriters ever, but sometimes it's a little too heavy for me to listen to Jason Isbell, and I need to just throw on Lifestyles of the Not So Rich and Famous and just kind of, fucking lose it.
Yeah, I agree. I want to say one more thing about a moon pie that I left out. The salesman who invented it was talking to miners about what they needed for lunch. I guess that was the thing. That was a job you could have, is go around talk
Yeah.
to poor people and be like, "What do you need to eat?"
Something,
that's-
dirt.
Like
They got any dirt?
It needs to fit in our thing, but be as big as a moon.
Yeah.
That was the story.
That's such a
lie.
poor old dumb coal miner sounding things. Like,
Yeah.
something
It's a
I
lie,
can
is what
fit-
it is. That's a great salesman, is what that is.
Yeah, right. 100%. Something as big as the
The
moon,
moon.
mister.
Mister.
You bring me a piece of chocolate bigger than the moon, I sure would appreciate it. I know I ain't got long left breathing all this dust with these birds around, but I want a piece of chocolate big as the moon
Big as the moon.
before I die.
Wash
Hey,
it down.
On
Brought
my
that back.
31st birthday. Oh, man, that's hilarious.
Wash it down with
Anyway.
something royal.
Yeah.
All right, I guess it's time to rate it, fellas. We've already done our rap song. Tushar, y'all don't
I'm gonna
let poor
go-
people- y'all don't let poor people do music in Bollywood, right?
You know what? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna give this one a 3. It is a good
Alright.
time. This song's a good time. And it's funny and self-aware and yeah. 3 Earnhardts.
Well, fuck, I'm gonna say 3 too. Too short. I may fire it up. 3.
I-
3.
I going into this, I would have never thought it, but now that we've broke down the lyrics, and also with the thought of like, oh wow, like this was kind of a fuck you, like this was written as
Yeah.
kind of a fuck you. That puts it 3 to me. Like the self-awareness of it, and the whole like, if you're gonna call me that, I'm gonna be that times 10.
Yeah,
Fuck you,
right.
I'm eating my beans. I mean, it. It's a fucking 3, man.
Much like Corey's next album, "Fuck You, I'm Eating My Beans." I think this song is exactly what it's supposed to be. It's perfect. The only difference I would say is I don't think I'm surprised. This has been on my list for a while. I've been wanting to do this song. I fucking love this song. I think this is like maybe a little sad. This song made my dad happy. So it's
Yeah.
a fucking 3 because back
Important.
then, not a lot was making my dad happy. He hadn't
about
quit
to say.
drinking yet. Like, it was not good in the house. But, like, by God, we're going to eat our beans and barbecue. Exactly. Fuck Robin Leach.
Dude, and that's another thing too of like this song has made me fucking hungry as shit. Like I want beans and barbecue and a moon pie and a goddamn RC
bad.
right now.
Don't let your
Right.
dreams be dreams,
I
child.
won't.
You
I'm
live in
Go
Chickamauga,
get it.
dog.
barbecue store right there.
I was fixing to say you could probably like get them given to you. You know, they're giving them away down at the school right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Any last thoughts, fellas?
No, hits.
Does
Yes.
it?
Bubba Shout the podcast, and that's right. A show about country at its height. Don't expect no shit from two